we're making moves and how to take over the world. That's the plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not here just, a lot of people just get to the UFC and think, right, I've made it. And I'm like, I ain't done shit yet. Do you know what I mean? Ranking a number next to my name doesn't mean nothing. What matters to me is like getting my family comfortable, money wise, like financially, enjoying myself, enjoying my life, and getting a title out of it. That's what matters to me. Like I say, a lot of people, they get to the UFC and think, yes, I'm a UFC fighter. Like, I won't say it means nothing to me, because it does mean something, but what really means something is providing for my family, living the lifestyle the way I want to live it, and being a champ one day. That's the plan.
Yeah, because I remember after the last fight, which was, you know, unbelievable performance against a guy that I looked up to massively growing up. I remember you mentioned that you were at the weigh-ins of Arlovski's fight when he fought in Manchester back in 2007. 2007 was the year I was just getting into the sport as a fan. I remember buying the Best of 2007 DVD way before Fight Pass. You had to watch the highlights by buying the DVDs. Yeah, that was when that was the first ever UFC event in Manchester, I believe. So to go from then as a fan, which you still say that you're a fan now, which is awesome, because not many fighters you can just chat to as fans and stuff. Just talk to me about, we had the chat before, what was it like in hindsight now facing off against Arlovski?
Do you know what? It was just like another fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was no different. I was a bit disappointed with him, to be honest. He was a bit sour after he lost, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, he was. He was a bit pissed off. And I think he honestly thought, well, Mike Brown, his coach, the ATT coach, like he actually said after, kind of like just take the notice of him, because we actually really thought that he's going to win another title, because he was on like a bit of a run before he fought, and he's won a fight since, so he was looking really good. So he kind of like stormed out, didn't like want to know anything, which is, you know,
didn't want to chat with you.
Yeah, he didn't want to do any of that. You know, I thought we would have had like a bit of a exchange of words.
I was
like, that's what I was looking for, to be honest. But
cool.
He didn't want to know. Which is fine. Do you know what I mean? That's fine. That's his thing, and that's fine. But so it was none of that. But you know, like the actual fight and the lead up and everything. Like I feel like a lot of people when they fight someone like that, like the mind goes a little bit like, oh shit, it's Arlovski. But I was just like, do you know what? Just another guy. Like seeing him in the week. Again, wasn't friendly at all. Wasn't like, oh, you know, good luck, and it was just staring at me the whole week. And another guy. That's all. I just see him and I thought, you know what? He's just another guy. And I'm just going to treat him like that, and that's what.
What was the power like? Because he connected on you a couple of times in that first round when you were both throwing down.
Yeah, it was all right.
Nothing.
It just the same as any other puncher. Yeah, it was fine. To be honest, the only reason he really caught me with any shots was because I couldn't see. I had a problem with my eye.
Okay.
Like in the fight, I had him like in a flurry, and I nearly finished him.
Yeah.
And he like something weird happened. Like the inside, he didn't poke me or anything. Like the inside of his glove scraped my eyeball.
Right.
And I had some issues for a few weeks after it. To be honest, I had to get some checkups and all that shit after.
Wow.
I had some issues with my eye after, but everything's good now. I'm all good. I'm all clear to fight and everything. But he scratched my eye, and I couldn't like. I could see just fine. What was difficult was I was struggling to realise
the range.
Yeah, like my depth perception was off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he looked further away than he actually was. Like I thought he wasn't in range to hit me, and he could, which was really odd. You know what I mean? It was a mad experience.
It's not what you want in a high level
fight.
No,
it's not ideal. Especially
one of the biggest punches of all time.
Because I nearly finished him. And anyone who's fought or done any kind of combat sports knows, like, if you try and finish someone and don't, it is tiring. Like, it's like, the only way I can describe it is like, if you do a 100-metre sprint, say you do like a full blast sprint as fast as you can, and then, like, you got to keep going after that. Like, someone's trying to punch you straight, like, a second after that. That's how you feel. So it's not like, you're not completely exhausted, but you're, like, heavily out of breath. That's how I felt, but luckily, I managed to use my experience, and the little experience I've got, I think a lot of that comes from sparring and stuff, and I managed to hold him in different positions and get my breath back, so I'm happy with that.
You should be happy, man, because I watched the fight back again the other day, and you were shaking your head, and I don't know whether that was because you was disappointed with the performance. Commentators tried to say that was the angle. I've not spoken to you since. But the sequence from the beginning of the round to the finish was so quick and violent.
Yeah.
Like there was like a rugby tackle takedown. Like you speared right through him into the fence.
Stick to what you know, bro.
Yeah, you went straight into the fence.
That's happened a few times in bars. You just go, what the fuck? No, do you know what?
Got the back and he
got the back.
tapped him within 5 seconds.
Do you know, my dad always says, and I have to agree with him, like I'm not blowing my own trumpet or nothing.
Yeah.
That I'm one of the best finishers in all of combat sport, and best finishers in all of combat sports.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with him, man, because if I smell blood, you're done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's it. Like I will finish you, and I can pull that off at any time in the fight. Like evidently with the Arlovski fight, and if I see a finish, like I'm going for it. Like I'm not dicking about. I'm like, wait, like I'm gonna finish. If I can see the finish, I will take the finish every time.
It's exciting to see though, because obviously, few guys heading into the fight who know the stuff about you have highlighted your ground game as being one of your strongest assets. But obviously, from the outside looking in, we've seen your striking as being a massive highlight for you. But to show a takedown as explosive as that and to finish it all off in one move, that's got to be a pretty great moment for you. And like you said, when your dad says something like that, I can't. Obviously, Conor McGregor's knocking guys out on the feet. When you're looking like Kamaru Usman, he's putting striking together. He's knocking guys out on the feet, but you don't really see guys match it all up together in an explosive way. You either have wrestlers grinding it out or strikers getting the finish. But you don't get.
Do you know what though? I can finish people from anywhere. You won't be surprised if I finish someone off my back.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that, which a lot of heavyweights don't do. I can finish from any position. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I'm just blessed with that. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time, I don't think it's something that's been taught. I just have the confidence to finish someone from any position if I can. You know what I mean? It's like you said, a lot of people stick to what they know. You know, they'll strike or they'll wrestle, they'll lie on them. But I'm literally trying to finish the fight from the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight. Like I'm looking for the finish 100% of the time. Yeah. And I don't like to. You know, a lot of people big themselves up. Yeah, I want it, and I try not to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just try and. Just
be yourself.
Just let my performances. I just want to be myself. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to big myself up and be like, you know, I don't want people.
Like a Colby Covington.
Yeah, I want people to make their own opinions of me. I don't want to force my persona.
People can see when it's fake. People can see when it's fake.
I agree.
Because, like when you look at guys in the UK, you go with guys like yourself, Leon Edwards. Highly talented, don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, him and his brother are like good guys to be around, like yourself. Like just they're the same in front of the camera as they are off the camera. Till love him or hate him is who he is.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll agree that like being in with him day to day.
Yep.
Mike Grundy's like yourself. So there's so many different characters in this country, which I'm glad that people didn't go like it was more of a stateside thing when McGregor, and I haven't got a bad thing to say about that guy. He's his own person, but a lot of people cashed in an opportunity for the trash talking side of things, and it was definitely more stateside. Do you agree?
Yeah, probably. I think the Americans love it, don't they?
Yeah.
See, this is something I noticed when I actually went to America. Like, we're here with MMA.
Yeah.
America's like,
oh yeah,
they love MMA.
Yeah, of
like,
course, man.
Over here, you get the odd person. You know, I'm getting recognised a lot more and stuff these days. But over there, it's like everybody knows all about UFC and MMA. Like, it's so big over there. So yeah, I think any big characters, they just love it over there. Like, they love the. And something else that I noticed is they love like people who are different, like who are not American.
Yeah.
I think they're used to a lot of the American shit talking, and I think they like
some low key stuff.
Yeah, they like difference. I think they like different stuff, and I had an awesome experience in America, man. I love Americans, and I was never too keen. Like, before I went, I was like, oh, you know, they're annoying,
over the top and that.
Yeah, but you know, when I was there, I thought it was amazing. Like, I loved America. I think it's a brilliant place, and I think moving forward, got to look to crack the Americans.
Yeah, like, you're going to be requesting more.
I don't know if I'm going to be like a singer when they say like, you got to crack America to make it.
Yeah.
No, nothing like that. But I think that's where it's at.
Yeah,
that's it's filtering over here and into Europe and all the rest of it. Like it's big and it's getting bigger, but in America, it's massive there.
It's always been the mecca of combat sports, the USA. Like I've been to fights at the MGM before the new one was built, and I've been to Madison Square Garden as well, and it's just crazy. Yeah. It's nuts. I'm sure they're venues that you dream of fighting at as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I fought in Vegas, but I've not fought in Vegas. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like fought at the Apex, crowd, but I want to fight, like you say, places like the MGM and I don't know, all these other like crazy places that you can fight in Vegas and at Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. That is. Do you know what my dream is though? My dream is actually to fight at the O2. Like,
really?
In front of us, like 30,000 in the O2. That is and I was so close to doing it. It got cancelled a week before, didn't it? Because of COVID. My debut.
I got press accreditation for it, which is hard to come by for the UFC. But thankfully, they gave me press accreditation for it, and it was Woodley Edwards, weren't it?
That's right.
That was meant to happen, and I think Edwards would have got the title shot straight away if he would have most likely beaten Woodley, but. I am hearing, and you can't, I'm not asking you to break any news, but September the 4th, the people that are saying that they're fighting on September the 4th suggest to me that it's at least going to take place on these shores. Have you seen the Paul Craig Gustafsson fight?
I have.
It's a good fight.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Paul a couple of days ago, and he did mention it before.
Before it got revealed.
Good fight. Also, I actually thought that Gustafsson was going to stay at heavyweight. And I thought they was going to possibly throw him my way, to be honest.
You said last time, when it was your UFC debut, that he's one of your favourite fighters.
Yeah, he is.
So that would have been a nice full circle.
That would have been awesome. I absolutely love Gustafsson.
Yeah.
But Paul Craig is my friend, so...
Yeah. And that's at light heavyweight, right?
That's at light heavyweight,
so he's dropped that down.
I think it might have just been a one-off, maybe it was a heavyweight. But you know what, he's a big guy. Like, he's similar size to me.
Yeah.
But I ain't making light heavyweight. Like, I'm just too big. It's just not. I could, you know what? I get asked a fair bit if I'm going to go to light heavy. I could possibly make it, but I don't think my style favours well. This is for people who are messaging like, "Are you going to go to light heavy?" I don't think my style favours well at light heavyweight.
Why is that?
Because
is it in terms of other matchups available for you?
It's just like my style is very movement based and athletic based and technique based, and that's like stuff that a lot of heavyweights don't have.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of light heavyweights do have that.
Yeah.
So, like, why would I? Like, my advantages are less at light heavy, even though I'll be bigger.
It's like when you go down the weight classes, people are more agile and more athletic, aren't they? Sure. And that is something you're absolutely correct about. I think you and Ngannou, obviously the only guys that I see that can do that sort of movement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people realise like how big I really am. Yeah. Like, I've been around a lot of heavyweights now, like UFC heavyweights, and to be honest, the biggest guy I've seen is Gustafsson, like in real life.
Yeah.
The other heavyweights, like I'm well bigger than any other heavyweight that I've seen. Even Derek Lewis, like fought on the same card. And
did you watch him?
Yeah. We're on the same card. I was a lot bigger than Derek Lewis. Like Curtis Blades, a lot bigger than him, and I don't know. People don't realise when they see me on the screen or whatever. Like I'm miles bigger than Arlovski, and Arlovski's like, average to big heavyweight. So I think maybe I could make light heavy, but it would be a graft, and I don't think I'd put a performance in after it.
What's your weight cut for heavyweight?
I don't cut weight, so my natural weight, if I'm not training, like if I'm training like a few times a week, I'll be like 116, 117 kilos. When I'm like in camp training twice a day, like I think when I fought in my last few fights, I've been like 111 kilos, something like that. Okay. So, I mean, the cut-off point for light heavy is 93. So that's, if I'm in shape at 111 kilos, like it's a big gap that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say if I was guaranteed to, I'll be bigger than them. At the end of the day, what does it really matter if you're bigger than someone really?
Yeah.
Like, it obviously, like if there's me and you size difference, it makes a difference. But like if you're slightly bigger than someone in a fight, it doesn't matter that much. No, I don't think so.
Stayed away from that London question. Do you know anything about it?
I know that they're pushing for it. Okay. Yeah, they're pushing for it, but I think it's all down to the government, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So I think from the outside looking in, it looks like like you said, they've got that idea September 4th, giving it a bit more leeway than August, because obviously we keep getting nudged back.
I think if they can do 40,000 in, is it Wembley the other day for football?
Yeah.
Why can't they do 15,000 in the O2?
I know.
You know what I mean? I think it's 30,000 capacity in the O2, or maybe 25 or something. Just half it.
Yeah.
Half it. Yeah. Have one seat in between everyone. Sweet. Let's go ahead with that.
I agree.
Why not?
You have said prior that you wouldn't mind having someone ranked below you. Has that changed heading into the end of the year?
Numbers don't mean nothing to me.
You're not thinking
the number one means something.
Yeah.
I just think anyone in the top 20 can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Everyone can beat each other.
Especially at that weight class, man.
That's what I think. I think on any different day, like, everyone can beat each other. Like I say, it's one punch changes everything at my weight. Numbers don't mean nothing. I don't think it's good for sponsors. Like, it's good to say, oh yeah, I'm ranked 12th in the world.
Yeah.
Give me a sponsor, buzzing. Yeah. But I think when you're in the top 5 onwards, like top 5 and up, they're like elite level.
Yeah.
The other, like from 5 to 20, they can all beat each other. I think so. It doesn't really mean that much to me. You know, if they give me a fight, I'm going to take it. Well, I've actually got a fight, but I can't.
You've got a fight?
Yeah, I can't tell you.
You know who it is?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Is it someone that fans will be? Is it a crowd pleasing fight?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a crowd pleasing fight. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a good one.
When do you think you'll be able to reveal that?
I don't know. No one knows this kind of stuff.
Is it UFC Europe that gets in touch?
I have no idea. You know, usually, like before, I've had people like, I've signed my contract.
Yeah.
And on that day, it's been leaked. Like, I don't know how that works. I have no idea how that works.
Surely, it must be people inside working for the UFC that will give it.
I don't have a clue. Like, I've literally
a big journalist.
I've put pen to paper. Like 2 hours later, I'm getting tagged in loads of stuff on Instagram. Like,
scary that. It's scary.
But then, like, when I fought, like my last fight, Arlovski, like I signed so I agreed to the fight, and then I didn't hear nothing for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I think he was organising a new contract or something. And then they told me they accepted, and then it was like a while after that it was probably like a month after that that he got announced and stuff. So I don't know. I've only just signed my contract though, so.
Well, at least you've got a fight now.
Yeah.
Is it what has been the main thing why it's been since February? Has it been or has it just been?
I have no idea.
Nothing's lined up.
I have no idea.
Has it been frustrating?
No, not really, because I actually wanted a break. Because I fought Cage Warriors, and then I had like 4 fights in just over 12 months.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to take on the body, like on my body being my size.
Yeah.
And not just that, it's a lot to take mentally as well, man. Like when I'm training, I'm not
with your family.
Yeah, I'm not with the family as much, and I'm just busy and tired and moody and all that kind of stuff. And now I've had like a good break. I've been away a couple of times and stuff, and I don't feel like between when you're in fight camp, it's hard to improve at the rate you would in between, because you're just training for one person. Whereas in between, it's like you start like improving, because you're just training to get better, really.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in training camp, you're just training for one person. So it's been nice. It's been a bit thingy at times. Like I would have liked to say like, this is when you're fighting. But I can't complain. I've got a fight now, so we'll move towards that. Yeah,
I think one thing that's interesting about you, every time I've spoken to you, and you know when I've watched interviews with you in the past and stuff, is you're very mind focused when it comes to sport and fighting and life, and that's something that athletes don't necessarily talk about first and foremost. It's something that you'll find athletes will go into detail about if you ask them.
Yeah.
But you're the one advocating that discussion. You're the one sort of saying that's why you've got an advantage over other fighters, not just in your weight class, but in the sport, because you're present in the moment beforehand in the training room and changing rooms, and you're present when you're walking out. You're present in the fight. That's got to be an amazing feeling for people who can get. Like you look at Donald Cerrone, he says he throws up before every fight. And that's like something that high level athletes do. I've been around people in football and rugby that go through those sorts of rituals beforehand.
I'm not surprised.
It's weird.
It's scary, man.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like be a guru and be like, this is that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like some kind of monk or something.
Yeah.
But it's something that I work on a lot, is the mind, because I think it's more important than the body. Maybe not more important, but equally as important as the rest of the body. That's what sets me apart from the others, I think. I've got the skills, but so does everyone else.
Yeah, true.
I can take a shot, I can give a shot, I've got power, I've got speed, all the rest of it, know what I'm doing. What sets me apart is that, 100%. And yeah, just...
What sort of stuff is it? Is it meditation? Is it mindfulness with just complete silence? They sort of things that you practice? A bit of
everything, really. I mess about with a bit of everything. I do a lot of breathing exercise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just been swaying away from this recently. I find myself, I've got to pull myself back to it.
Yeah.
I just need to enjoy it, me, personally. I understand myself.
Enjoy the aspect of
everything
fighting.
About it, everything.
Yeah.
The training, the lead up, the actual fight, the before the fight. Not everybody's like that. You got to know yourself pretty well. Like, some people are the opposite. Some people like to be like, you know, going into war and all that.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Like,
too intense.
Yeah, that's too intense. Like, I will take it too serious. I used to do that early in my career, like when I was younger.
Yeah.
It would be like, right, I'm going to like the gauntlet. It's like do or die.
Yeah.
It's not, mate. It's not. It's a sport.
Yeah.
You know, if you lose, you try and get better and win the time after. That's it. Like, the worst thing that can happen is you can get knocked out in front of loads of people or whatever.
But so everybody else has, haven't they?
But that's what you sign up for.
Yeah, of course it is.
You know what I mean? Like, I sign up knowing that I can lose in front of millions of people.
Yeah. And
every time I fight, I try and remind myself, look, all this stuff, all these emotions, all this like realisation of shit, this guy is going to hit me really hard. That's what I signed up for. That is what I want to do in my life. That's what I chose to do.
Yeah. And
just embrace it. Go and enjoy it, because this is the life that I chose to live, mate. Every time I get that, every time I step in that octagon or wherever I'm fighting, ring, on the mat, whatever, I am so scared. Like, every time I am extremely scared. But that's what I chose to do.
Does it take an impact on your body when you feel scared?
It used to, not anymore, because I use it now.
Use the breathing.
I can use it so well. Like, that's something that what I do like better than most people is I accept that fear and I use it. It's hard to describe because I'm not like a philosopher or anything but I can like use that fear to my advantage. Like, I used to try and fight it. Like, I used to be like, right,
I'm not really
let's not
scared.
get scared. But then you got two fights. You fight your opponent and you fight yourself.
Yeah, man.
And fighting your opponent's not that bad. He's going to punch and kick you, same as the other training partners have done for the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is fighting yourself. Like, fighting yourself without mental battles, man, is difficult. So,
and it's an individual sport as well.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
When I mentioned there before, I've spoken to footballs and rugby players about this side of their game. They can sort of get lost in the crowd of the teammates, but sure. you can't. You can't get lost in the crowd of anybody.
It's not easy. It's a tough thing for the ego, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're cage fighters. It's your ego. Like, you're gonna get knocked out. A million people are gonna see it, and it's tough to take. Like, losses are not easy, but like I said, this is what I signed up for, and that fear. I've looked into so many stuff, and all the best fighters admit they're scared. Yeah. There's people who will say, I'm not scared, there's nothing to it. Right? They're either idiots or they're lying. Yeah. One of the two. You can't be in denial with yourself in there, mate. It'll get found out quick.
If you weren't scared, you'd be... you wouldn't be human. You know, no. It's every person in any aspect.
You know what?
Of
a lot of my training partners and sparring partners will tell you, I don't train that well, me. Yeah. Like, I don't train that well. I get my ass kicked in training all the time. And I have got my ass kicked in fights before, but that fear makes me better. Like, I can't perform unless I'm very scared. Like, I don't know if it's like a fight or flight, and I just have to go into that fight mode and just think, right, fuck it, let's go for it here. Because say when I'm in the gym and there's me and another guy and 2 people watching, I ain't scared. Like, I'm not scared. Like, I don't really like. It doesn't matter to me. Like, if I get beat up by the guy I'm sparring with, like, we go home and the guy thinks, oh, I beat him up today, and that's it. Like, if I'm fighting in front of millions of people and a guy's got tiny little gloves on, and he's massive, and he's swinging for me, mate, I am scared. And like I fight so much better than I train. I can't even tell you how much better I fight than I train, honestly.
One thing I want to go into a bit with you, because I've spoken to you a tiny bit about it before, but we've never gone into depth about it. And what's interesting is that it's about the leg break, by the way.
Oh, the leg break fight,
yeah. First time I ever watched you live in person, that was.
Yeah.
Because Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman, did you watch that video that they did where they reminisced about?
I did. I watched some of it. The podcast thing that they did. Yeah, I watched some of it.
And I was thinking about you in that, because we've not spoken about how it affected you, and obviously what Chris Weidman did to Anderson Silva big time affected him mentally.
Yeah.
And then it's happened to him now. You went and visited the guy afterwards in hospital, didn't you? In terms of like you yourself throwing leg kicks and receiving them, it's not going to flash in the middle of a fight because you're concentrating, but does it ever hit you when you're at home, when you're alone with your thoughts?
You know, the fight after that was the fight before I got signed by the UFC.
Yeah, it was like a minute.
Yeah, it was a quick fight.
Yeah.
I was fighting like a kickboxer guy. I think the guy was like 6-0 with 6 knockouts or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I thought, right, I'm not throwing normal leg kicks in my fights. I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not the best kicker anyway.
What, at all?
Yeah, I just thought, I'm just not going to do it. I just don't want to do it. Like, that was my mindset.
Yeah, I bet.
Which is unrealistic, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm going to throw. Mate, the first thing I did was walked out and kicked him. Like, you just go into, like, that's just gone.
Yeah,
like,
just forget.
Yeah, you just forget. It's almost like
bet.
you forget. But, yeah, rough experience, man. Not an experience I would wish on something as well. It's like when I was in the hospital, obviously, all I knew about the guy when I was my opponent is just that he's my opponent. Like I don't know anything about him personally. So I seen him when we fought, obviously. Didn't see him after because he went straight to the hospital in the ambulance and everything. Seen him a few days later, and when I went visiting him, and when I went in, he had like, it's hard to explain, he had like, his leg was all like in a cast and shit, and he had like some elastic bands like around the cast. They looked like on his shin here, it was like a big elastic band that was like, I think it was like bolts in the elastic. I don't know if it was tightening it up or what.
Yeah, maybe to try and keep it tight.
I don't know what it was. But like I walked in, I was like, we had a brief chat. It was like, you know, how are you feeling, blah blah blah. And then the nurses come in and started like changing the elastic band.
And you're like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, or doing something with like the bolts in his leg. And he was in a lot of pain. He was like, ah!
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, do you want me to wait outside? And he was like, oh no, it's alright, it'll only take 5 minutes out. But like the nurse was saying it'll only take, and I think she thought like I was his friend coming visit like or something. I don't know. Like I don't think she realised. It must have
felt like a long fucking 5 minutes.
I was just sat there like, oh my god, like I can't believe that this is just like this happened a few days ago. It was so crazy.
I got out straight out of the arena. I couldn't be around it.
It was horrendous.
I had to get out. We were sat near Molly McCann, and she looked like she was about to be sick. It was.
Well, it was not.
More other people's reactions that get me at that, but I distinctly remember the sound of it.
I remember it was just quiet. Like it just.
Everyone went quiet.
It went quiet, and then I remember just hearing him scream, like really loud screams, and then they put like some music on. Yeah. And then I remember like everyone. It seemed like the whole place just went like around the cage. Yeah. So when I left the cage, it was like literally like thousands of people just like on top of each other. It was crazy, man. Not a great experience. Like I actually get like goosebumps when I think about it.
I bet. But is it not as bad as it was initially, or is it still
like no, I don't pop into my head really. No. I just don't like the thought. Like I don't like the thought of any injuries really. Like. No. It's a dangerous sport. Like I don't want to.
Of course it is, man.
I don't like thinking about that kind of stuff. But mate, any sport's dangerous. Yeah. You know what I mean?